My name is Rebecca Hamlin, and I'm Assistant Professor of Political Science and Legal Studies at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. And I study migration and refugee and citizenship law and politics, usually focusing on the reactions of liberal democracies to arrivals of unwanted or unsolicited migrants. And I'm really interested in two things. One is migrant categorization, so how people are put into different categories and categorical boxes as they cross borders, and also the reaction of courts to the rights claims of migrants. Sure. So my new project is on the migrant refugee binary, and it's really focused on the way in which our law, our policy, and our academic study of border crossing tends to divide people who cross borders into two major categories, refugees and migrants, as being separate and distinct and distinguishable, and sort of the consequences of that division. I would say I took a critical approach to the binary. I wouldn't call it a myth because I think it's really real, but especially in terms of our legal categories. But I guess the way I would phrase it is I would say it's constructed as opposed to always accurately reflecting people's lived experiences. First and foremost, the implications of it are to highlight one small subcategory of border crossers as deserving of protection and therefore cast all others as undeserving. And I think this binary tends to make harsh border control measures more palatable to publics who understand them as keeping out voluntary and economically motivated migrants without sort of thinking about the ways in which economics are also a force. So that's one of the things that I'm really exploring in the paper. Obviously, activists, especially legal advocates who use the tools of law to try to get protection for their clients, like they have to work within this binary world. They have to work within the categories that exist and the tools that they have. I think that for scholars who study migration, we don't. We're free from that. And that's something that I think could help activists by sort of pointing out the ways in which the world is more complicated. And I also think that non-lawyers, so people who are pushing for policy change, also can be more free from these binaries as well.